Hey guys, Dos here from Barbecue Mafia. Today I'm going to show you how to reverse sear these lamb cutlets or lamb lollipops, finished off in some of our Wagyu Tallow Gravy. Okay, for the reverse seared lamb cutlets today guys, we're using my sexy burnt orange Weber kettle. Alright, that's going to be the smoking and low and slow side of things. We're going to give it a little bit of a rest in the middle like you need to do with the reverse sear method. And then we're going to sear off on, we need a drum roll, my beautiful NFL edition Smokey Joe. All right, and yes, I still am a Patriots fan even though Brady's not playing for them. My awesome mate RLS got this for me from the United States and I have kept this in a box for a long time. I thought it might as well use it. So I'm going to show you guys how to sear off the lamb cutlets. Let's crack in. So we only need half a bag of charcoal for this, which is exactly what I've got, half a bag and it's finished. Right, light some fire lighters. And then just chuck we use Jiffy fire lighters, and chuck your chimney on top of that. This is the best way to obviously light your charcoal. Make sure you're lighting it in your kettle or in a barbecue. Don't light it on concrete. We found that out. Concrete explodes with heat, so. All right, while we wait for that chimney to come up to temp and that charcoal to get hot, I've opened up these lamb cutlets. So a really popular method is to reverse sear the whole lamb rack together before cutting it into the little cutlets here. I've just got my good mates at A&M Meats down the road from me to cut this up for me. This will obviously cook a lot quicker, all right, than a lamb rack would. A lamb rack, you know, generally takes you an hour or hour and a bit. But I'm really hungry. I want to eat these and I want to dip it in our Wagyu gravy at the end and eat these for lunch. So I've got them to cut it. They've obviously Frenched the bones there, so they look like the lollipops. And yeah, I'm just going to rub it with a little bit of our on the lamb rub there. We've chucked a little bit of a citrus kick in our lamb rub, so it's not your boring old lamb flavours. It's got a nice little kick to it with acidity, and it gives beautiful flavour without overpowering the lamb. So we're going to chuck some of that on there, and then we're going to hopefully this chimney will be up to temperature. All right, so let's rub these guys up. Chuck them on there. You obviously don't really want to cake them too much in rub, just give them a good dusting. And this is a nice fine rub, so you don't actually have to to use a lot, especially with lamb cutlets. Not a big surface area, I cover them all over. Get that nice barky flavour on the outside. But yeah, just a nice consistent rub. Obviously when you rub protein or rub anything, making sure you just using the shaker from a height gives you a nice even consistency throughout. Nice bit of rub, and then you just pat it in. You don't need to rub it in. Obviously it's called a rub, but you just need to pat it in. That needs a little bit more. Just pat it in, make sure that rub sticks. Use a binder if the rub's not sticking, but I've had these lamb cutlets sitting out for about half an hour. They've come to room temperature and they've started to sweat a little bit, so they're just gonna have a natural binder with the sweat, so that rub adheres to it pretty quickly. Just while we're waiting, I'm still waiting for this charcoal to come up. I just thought I'd show you the Australian barbecue board. I use there's Australian brisket board, which is unreal as well. Like obviously a lot bigger than this guy and a lot heavier, but the barbecue board is real versatile. Like very light, easy to take in your caravan, take on holidays with you. I take this guy everywhere. It's got the deep channels all the way around the board, and it's even got the magnets, so my little tin tray snapping onto it there, and it won't move, so you can put your tongs or your knife on there and it won't fall off. So made for people that are holidaying on the go. It's a great Aussie product made right here in Brizzy. Yeah, so this is a cool little board. Check them out. Now we're just going to check on this chimney. You can see that's getting nice and red hot down the bottom. Those briquettes on top just need to go that little bit more greyish, whitish. Starting to now, but they're probably 5-7 minutes away. All right, so important not to rush your charcoal. Make sure it's ready and nice and hot to put in your barbecue. This guy's, yeah, as I said, 5 to 7 minutes away, and it's starting to get windy here, which will help pull that oxygen up the side of that chimney. But yeah, not quite ready. You just want it a little bit wider on top. So a quick little recap on the reverse sear method. So we are cooking our protein at a low heat to start with. All right, we're giving it a rest in the middle, and then we're searing off to our target temperature at the end, to the target doneness, essentially. So for our lamb cutlets today, my target doneness will be 57 degrees Celsius internal. All right, so that means that we have to take it off the smoker a little bit before that, so 54, 55 degrees Celsius, because it's going to continue to cook a little bit through that rest. But then when we sear it off, we're going to sear it off to our target doneness. All right, so flames licking the top. Those top briquettes are starting to go whitish. It's time to rock and roll. This chimney's ready to go. So I'm setting my kettle up as a smoker for my low and slow cooking. I obviously use the 1 basket, 2 basket method. All right, don't worry about the temperature gauge on top of that lid. All right, so I use 1 basket, 2 basket method. That basket's obviously where I'm gonna leave free, but I'm also gonna cook over the top of that. All right, so just fill the 1 basket full of charcoal. So I'm chucking the grill on, obviously making sure the trapdoors are over the baskets in the kettle. And then I'm gonna chuck a bit of an oak chunk straight over the hot basket. Right, that's gonna start to smoulder away and give me a little bit of smoke for these cutlets. And I chuck these obviously on the indirect colder side of this barbecue. The Weber kettle, very, very versatile machine, this one. So as you can see, they're all set up on the other side there. We've got our heat here. All right, indirect heat. Obviously no heat this side. And this is just gonna low and slow smoke these cutlets. And that's the first process of the reverse sear. We'll chuck the lid on. Now I want to use the vent as the hot spot, so I want all that smoke and all that heat drawn over the cutlets on that side. So I've got vent on open, fully open, and making sure to show it's fully open there. And over the top of those cutlets. All right, so we're drawing all the heat, all the smoke over there and getting as much smoke as we can on there. All right, our cutlets are cooking away, they're smoking away on the kettle there. I just want to show you one of our awesome products, the Wagyu Tallow Gravy that we've just brought out. Fast becoming one of our highest selling products, mainly because it's so awesome and so easy to use. Came about with all the Wagyu tallow that we had left over from cooking briskets at the restaurant. We've sent to our food scientists and they've turned it into this powdered gravy mix that's as easy as a cup of water and 3 tablespoons, whisking it up, using pan juices, or just chucking it in the easy as chucking it in the microwave. So I'm just going to show you on my camp cooker. It looks like some DJ decks, doesn't it? But this is my camp cooker that I use fairly regularly for outdoor cooking and also for demos to show people how easy the gravy is to use and how awesome it tastes. All right, so I'm just going to show you the method, as I said, over the camp oven, the camp cooker, butane cooker, whatever you want to call it. That's a really, really easy method. Literally most times I use it, I just chuck it in the microwave. In a microwave safe bowl, 1 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of the mixture, whisk it after a minute, another minute, whisk it, and if it needs you like it a little thicker, another 30 seconds, a minute to go. So that's literally how easy it is. I want to make it really, really easy for everyone to have it at home. But I'm going to show you in the pot. So basically all it is 3 tablespoons of mixture. Get rid of the whisk there. 3 tablespoons. Don't worry if it's flat, I just heap them in there. All right. And that's a cup of water, I promise. 250 mils is a cup. Just remember that, 250 milliliters. All right, turn your cooker on. Hopefully it turns on first time. She's on. Right, just give it a good whisk. And these cookers cook pretty hot, so you want to, even on low settings, so you want to just keep an eye on it if you are using a butane cooker. But if you're using an element or gas inside, just continually whisking this guy and he'll start to thicken up over the 5 to 6, 7 minutes. And it's as easy as that. You've got an awesome little gravy that's going to serve you really, really well. And that's not just for lamb, I have it on chips, on meat pies, on bangers and mash, on your roast chicken. This guy's so versatile. You've got that rich Wagyu flavour. And she's better than the Maggi and Gravox that you sort of do at home, and that's what I'm used to. So this guy just blows my mind how much flavour we've gotten into this gravy. So we're 2 minutes in and that's already starting to thicken up. Like, look at that. There's only going to be another minute or two and she's ready to go. Is there any better sight? A nicely cooked piece of meat with a bit of gravy on top. There's nothing better. Let's check how we're going here. All right, so as you can see, that piece of oak there is starting to smoke away. So we're getting heaps of smoke in this chamber. All right, they're starting to change color a little bit. Starting to render down a touch. Because there's not a lot of meat on these cutlets. You've got to check them regularly, otherwise they're going to overcook. So I'd be checking them every, 6-7 minutes. Heat will get back up in this chamber quickly, so don't worry about taking the lid off all the time. Just you want to obviously get a good result and not overcook these cutlets. But yeah, cooking away, they're going to need a little bit longer. So just open up the kettle again. I said you got to check these regularly, so I reckon these guys are going to be pretty close to being ready. So there's 54, 55, so they're looking like they're ready. That one might be leaving a little bit more. So this has gone a little bit longer. All right, 54. I'm going to take them off. All right, as I said, if you're unsure, take them off a little bit earlier on a reverse sear and you can sear them to the, the target doneness. But these guys are all at 55 is where I wanted to take them off at. All right, for the rest. They're just sitting in the bowl there resting. I haven't got anything over it. I'm not going to cover it in foil because I don't want them to cook anymore. They're really, really close to 55 degrees. So they're going to continue to cook a little bit. But I just want to give them a chance to rest before we you put them on a high heat. So I'm literally just going to transfer this. This basket's still really, really good. Some nice charcoal in there. That's going to burn hot and long, a long time. So I'm just literally going to transfer it straight into the Smoky Joe. Spread them out. They're going to get some awesome airflow. And that's going to allow us to, for the next 10 minutes, that's going to obviously ramp up a little bit. We're going to get the grill on top, get it nice and hot, and then we're going to sear them off. Right, so that grill's nice and hot. We're going to chuck these on, sear them off. Give them a nice sear. Right, let's turn them over, see what they're looking like. Oh yeah. Caramelization, how good's that look? I freaking hate tongs. Does anyone else hate tongs, using tongs? I know obviously, I don't know if they're an Aussie invention or what, but I hate using them. I'd rather just have a heat glove on and just turn these with my hand, but charcoal's pretty hot. But anyway, I'm turning these over. So they're nice and caramelized on the outside. We're getting that awesome Maillard effect. There we go. So they've been turned once. I'm just going to let them go for a minute on this side and I reckon they'll be done. So that target doneness of 57 I think I said, 57 degrees Celsius from a medium rare lamb. I like a little bit of pinkness to my lamb. There's our beautiful lamb cutlets, guys. Should be medium rare. Seared off nice on our Smoky Joe over charcoal. Looking absolutely delicious. I'll just quickly cut one of these up just to show you. Nice medium rare, beautiful. All right, so that's our reverse seared lamb cutlets, guys. How good does that look? All right, the whole process took 30 minutes. I'm bloody hungry, so there's only one thing left to do. That's dip it in our Wagyu gravy. And down the hatch. Oh, so much moisture, unbelievable.